It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the Rawdown, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. And yes, no, it is not Young Anthony. Young Anthony's taking the night off. It is I doing the WORM. Scotty Too Boney, and with me is my co-host, the MVP of not only the Tavern, but of the Chick-fil-A Show and of the Pod Foundation. Marco, what's up, Marco?
Nothing much. Just another. What is it like? What is it? The third or fourth week into the Triple H era of WWE, and still this guy's not letting up. He's foot to the pedal, and he got that foot on the. He has a lead foot. He's not letting up at all. This guy.
He's got a mission, and the mission is to put on some good shows. So we'll talk about, of course, that. We got, of course, the some good outside the ropes news, quarterly, some business talk here at the Rawdown, and of course we got some more returns. So I think it's time. We get into a little outside the ropes.
Outside the ropes.
And outside the ropes. And I tell you what, this whole Vince thing is not letting up here.
No, it isn't.
So it's not like any groundbreaking news, but this is the first quarterly report without Vince McMahon at the helm. And I'll kind of read a little synopsis I found here. So the resignation of Vince McMahon. I'm sorry, let me read from the top here. Until he resigned from all positions held within the company on July 22nd, 2022. In addition to serving as chairman of our board and directors and chief executive officer, Mr. McMahon led the creative team that developed the storylines and the characters for our programming, including our television, WWE Network, and other programming and live events. On July 22nd, 2022, the board appointed Stephanie McMahon and, at the time, Chief Brand Officer, interim CEO, interim chairwoman, and director of the company. And Nick Khan, at the time, President, Chief Revenue Officer, and director of the company, serve as co-CEOs. Just going to, basically going through this, they talk about Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, being the executive company vice president, talent relations, and creative. And, of course, is the husband of Stephanie McMahon. They kind of basically break down, as in a business sense, Triple H's resume. But one thing that there was a quote from that was interesting is that they basically said that the resignation of Vince McMahon could adversely affect our ability to create popular characters and create storylines, or could otherwise adversely affect our operating results. Marco, I'm not a business guy. I'm a chemist. I know science. Tell us, what that this all means.
See, I mean, obviously, I'm not a business guy as well, but I've dealt with. I'm not going to say my previous employer, but I did work with a lot of different businesses, and I was sat in a lot of rooms where there was a lot of like owners talking and things like that, and so something like this in our wrestling minds, obviously we go, oh man, they're already giving up on Triple H and Stephanie and Nick Khan, and they don't have any faith at all. But the real business, for me, the business side of that is we can't look at that as a wrestling fan, because you look at that as a wrestling fan, it's already doom and gloom. And you already know, if you're a wrestling fan watching the product right now, you could definitely tell it's way different than it was before. It's a lot more people watching and viewing. They get a lot more ratings and stuff like that. This was more of a sense where it's kind of like for the business itself, they're doing like kind of like a safety net, like, hey, just in case. Obviously, Vince McMahon is not at the helm anymore. This is the first time in our 40+ year history that Vince McMahon is not a part of anything. Essentially, obviously, he is. Stephanie did come out during those quarterly earnings and say, he still is the shareholder and he's going to do what's best for business. Essentially, when it comes to the business of the WWE. That being said, that statement was more or less like a, hey, we're not too sure right now what it's going to look like with Vince McMahon not at the helm. Obviously, we have Triple H, we have Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan. Those are the new, kind of like the three-headed monster. I hate to use that term, but they're the three-headed monster of the WWE now. We don't know what the WWE looks like with them running it. So here's a statement. Let's throw this out there just in case there aren't any storylines created or there are no new main no new characters created essentially. But I think that's for me, I think it's a total opposite. And you can definitely tell with all the different, all the people that are returning, all the new faces you're seeing in the main event scene as well. Like we've seen Gunther and Shinsuke Nakamura main event SmackDown. That's usually reserved for like a Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and so insert people here and the Usos essentially every single week. So they definitely are creating new characters. They definitely are creating new storylines. So I think for what it's worth, I think that statement was kind of written beforehand. Because all those quarterly things are all done this is all done obviously during and after the Vince McMahon exit or whatever. But I wouldn't look at that as a negative thing. I would look at that as a positive. Because they're going to do the total opposite in my eyes. I don't think they're not going to create storylines or characters. That's what wrestling is, creating storylines.
If you don't do that, you don't have a show, pal.
Exactly.
It's just, I don't know. To me, it just, and you kind of spoke to it, like I said, I'm just a dumb wrestling fan. What I know about what's going on. But, to me, though, you put a statement in there. I know that statement's coming from I guess maybe like a CFO or something like that.
The finance,
some finance guy, right? But I mean that statement has got to be approved by Stephanie and Nick Khan.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So why would they be like, yeah, this sounds good. We suck. Vince is better.
Well, the other side of that too is, hey, look, make it look like we're not going to be successful, and then the next quarter, guess what? Way more earnings. Way more everything. Make it look bad. Yeah. That's the thing. Like Vince McMahon's gone. That's all they've known. I mean, all these businesses, all these advertisers, all these people that they've dealt with only have known Vince McMahon to be the controller of everything, and now he isn't. So they have to put a statement out like that. They're gonna be like, yeah, we're just business as usual. What? No. You're the guy that's created the company's gone. The one that started, literally everything in this company. And and see the future of the company, he's gone right now. So we have to put a statement out like that. There's no other way around it. Like I said, that's a way to go. It looks like doom and gloom, but then the next quarter, the Q3 results come out, and now they even mentioned on the quarterly earnings that they had the highest selling WrestleMania, and what was it, like 15 years or something like that? They said
the numbers don't lie.
I think they sold 90,000 tickets in 24 hours. That's insane.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting times. Now they did basically mention that there's missing money.
Oh yeah, there's more missing money.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want to talk about that. I didn't fully see that, but I think did they mention $19 million?
Yeah, it's 19.6. That's what the total is now. But there's another 5 million unaccounted for that could have possibly donated to a particular presidential candidate.
Damn.
Perfect person to actually throw up there. That and another thing I read was the total of the amount WWE has paid for this investigation. Have you seen that?
No, I did not see
Like,
that. What's that
they
song?
spent so far $10.1 million in this investigation.
The board is concerned about your extremely questionable decisions as of late.
So when you think about it, that's you're going into a quarterly earnings around 30, probably 30 million plus, like in dollars, like the almost the 20 million that Vince McMahon has spent on his thing, and then 10 million in legal fees essentially to like investigate this dude. It's like that's 30 million, dude. That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of money to me. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not a lot of money to them because they have investors. So those investors like that's you guys are spending this so much money on this investigation. That can scare people too as well.
Right.
So I mean,
I'm sure Vince, he's all right, but he's of course Vince being
Life
Vince.
sucks, and then you die.
great one.
That's my favorite one. That's my favorite Vinceism right there of all time. Life sucks, and then you die.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, we this is the first time that WWE's acknowledged the missing money, and and so that's why this is so interesting that this quarterly report was coming out. Not only is it the first ones for post Vince, but it's really it's going to be they've acknowledged this missing money, so it's kind of big news in my opinion. Obviously we're leading with it, and again we're going to see more and more of this coming out. It's going to more trickle. I mean, this is the biggest story in wrestling.
Yeah,
that's ever come out of wrestling. So,
I mean, on the lighter side too, they obviously they fielded some questions and stuff like that, and I've seen a few things where someone asked about the possible sale of the WWE, and Stephanie said something where obviously she said Vince McMahon is a shareholder, the major shareholder or majority shareholder. What the hell am I talking about? Majority shareholder, and he's going to do what's best for business. That's what her answer was. So who knows with that? But then Nick Khan, someone asked about Netflix apparently, and I guess Netflix is in the they're looking for live content, so like live streaming content. And that was a question whether WWE is going to partner with Netflix to do live shows, or maybe Monday Night Raw might be on Netflix.
That'd be crazy.
Maybe SmackDown might be on Netflix, that type of thing. So rest assured, WWE still in the business of business. So they're gonna do what they have to do to survive and grow and change and all that stuff. So no worries, WWE or Fed people out there.
Yeah. They're gonna be fine. I'm looking at kind of their stock. So from when Vince retired, announced the retirement, they were at $66 a share, and it's been basically a month now. We're pretty close to it. As of today's closing, there's $73.26.
Damn,
that's about 10% increase.
Yeah,
in about 3.5 weeks. So as Vince sits in his recliner, his pawpaw chair, doing whatever he's doing, he's making more money. So
yeah, I mean he's not worried. He's not worried. He's not gonna. You see all these people on the internet like, oh, Triple H is bringing all these. You see all the memes with the moment someone says wrestler. And it shows like Vince McMahon laying on a gurney, that type of stuff. I posted
that today. Actually.
Yeah, like that type of stuff.
It was just funny.
It's like Vince McMahon's probably like sitting back laughing at that shit. Like he knows Triple H and Stephanie and Nick Khan are gonna continue on with what he's created, and obviously, like Triple H said, he's not gonna try to copy what Vince McMahon's done creatively because he can't. He can't be Vince McMahon. He can only be Triple H. And he's doing what Triple H does, which is, from what I've seen, really awesome television. I haven't seen anything bad yet.
It's been pretty awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think we could probably. Oh, one other thing I want to mention too in this quarterly report that we haven't talked about in quite some time, and that we've completely put it in the rearview mirror. That they mention is the MLW lawsuit.
Oh yes, yeah.
They talk about that. I mean, it wasn't like huge breaking news. Basically, they talked about how they moved to dismiss it, and they gave the timeline.
Yeah,
I think they was about around March is whenever they first filed the lawsuit, MLW that is, then I think they moved WWE's lawyers moved to dismiss it in April, late April, and that got denied or they couldn't come to terms. So of course now it's going to case. So basically WWE's just at a point where they're trying to fight it, and I mean, just because they were trying to get a dismissal doesn't mean they feel like they're guilty of anything.
Yeah, I mean
that's what all these corporations do. They're going to try to settle.
Yeah, I mean they have other investigations that they're
spending
money on. They don't want to put any more lawsuit dollars.
They're not worried about Alex Hammerstone and Court Bauer. So,
would be nice though if they did court Alex Hammerstone. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. Well,
Drew Mac versus Hammerstone. I'll take it.
You never know. You never know for sure. So, I think that's good. That's really not a lot outside the ropes news this week.
No,
everything's pretty much inside. So let's get into our good old collar and elbow.
Collar and elbow.
So for our podcast audience, you really need to watch it here on the YouTube because collar and elbow video, man, makes me go to 6 to midnight every time.
Oh yeah, baby. Of course. Yeah, that's like snug, locked,
snug and stiff, baby, snug and stiff. Yeah. So I just wanted to quickly touch on this. We actually hold on. We got to hit the old drop here. Oh shoot, I'm messing it up. Here we go.
Welcome back.
Hello!
Welcome! Where the hell have you been?
I'm back!
Hello there.
I'm back.
I'm going back to the big show.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Hit row. We're back. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
We saw the return of Hit Row, and we saw not the full iteration that we've grown to love, or that we've known, should we say. We got Top Dollar, B-Fab, and Ashante the Adonis. No Swerve Scott, because as we know, he is over there on AEW as one half of Swerve in Your Glory tag champs. So no Isaiah Swerve Scott. He's sitting on the other bench. Man, so out of all these, I don't know if this is. I'm going to go ahead and hit it.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
This didn't really sit well. I mean, I know they got leaked, beforehand.
Yeah.
That maybe it was Top Dollar that was going to be there. I mean, like these three people, combined, they're fine. The B-Fab, she's new to the biz, but she adds a really great flavor to the group. Ashante Theodonis. Haven't really seen him wrestle that much, but the little bit I saw, it's good.
Yeah.
But but this just doesn't hit right for me personally because to me this group was founded on Swerve Scott.
Yeah. I agree.
So it's missing that. Do you think we see like your Garganos and your Karrion Crosses and those folks, they're all kind of let go or left and right around the same time. And then,
Yeah.
Swerve Scott, of course, he, signed his contract pretty quickly. Do you think he made a mistake overall?
I see that a lot. I've actually seen something recently where someone posted something like that on Twitter, where they, I think because Hit Row came back, they're like, "Oh, I bet Swerve Scott's, pissed off that he signed that contract." It's like, I mean, not really. I mean, he's a AEW tag team champion right now.
He's a champion.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think he's that mad. Does it suck that they brought back Hit Row without? I mean, he's probably. I mean, if I was him, I'd be kind of not pissed about it. I'd be like, "Oh, what? Why would you do that? Why don't you just wait till my contract goes up and then I can I can come back?"
Yeah.
But I mean, he has to be a little bit upset. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I would be. I mean, that like you said, that's kind of like his creation. I wish I could argue with you on that, but I can't. It literally it like every vignette you've seen in NXT when they started, it was him introducing the others.
Right.
And it's like you said, it's definitely not the same. I mean, it's cool. Like they still have that same entrance and same type of like swag and same presentation, but it's definitely missing that. Definitely missing Swerve. And this dude's like Swerve light almost, like Adonis. He could probably kind of not really fill that void, but he can give you that like whatever glimpse of Swerve is missing essentially. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just glad there's another tag team. I've seen another list.
Yeah,
and it seems like they're building the tag team division over in WWE right now. So
yeah,
let's see. I mean,
yeah,
I'm happy about that.
This could be a team to kind of go up against Judgment Day, which would be fun.
Yep.
Once they get kind of BFAB up to par, I guess. I hate to say the words because it's making her sound like she's shit, but but she is new to the biz.
Yeah.
She's pretty green, so. But it would be something fun to maybe see down the road. Almost kind of like Wyatt's versus Shield, to some aspect. Could be something like that. Top Dollar could definitely go. He's very athletic and and he's very good on the mic. I mean, it's just like, man.
Yeah, I wish it was more. I wish it was more like maybe vignettes or promo work before they had it. Like they just jumped right in and had a match. Like I wish it was more of like a presentation to like reintroduce them and not like have a match and then reintroduce yourselves. Like that's what they pretty much did. They had the match and then after they did like a promo. I wish it was. I mean, obviously it's like a surprise or whatever, but that surprise should have just been like them coming out and reintroducing it, and then that's it. Like no match whatsoever. I think that would have been a little bit safer in my eyes, but
yeah.
What do I know?
These returns. A lot of these returns, it got me feeling like almost like 2016 SmackDown. Or SmackDown Raw, whenever they split it, and they had all these people kind of coming back. Kurt Hawkins and Shelton Benjamins and those guys. It's almost kind of like that, and I think they need maybe pump the brakes a little bit. We obviously on Raw we didn't see it, because now everybody's gonna expect, who's gonna be here next?
Yeah.
And maybe some of this is they're trying to scoop up the talent because AEW's definitely scooping it up on their end. Scooping up all this talent that got let go and that were kind of flirting with AEW and now they're committed.
Yep.
Clearly. So I don't know, maybe that was part of it, but it's interesting, Triple H just trying to get his people back.
Trying to get his kids back. His NXT kids. Because I mean they all debuted on SmackDown too, and then they got pulled. They got released. So a lot of like
they gave them 1 month on TV, and then that was it.
Yeah, they totally. I mean, obviously they totally flubbed Karrion Kross. Like that was like a huge mess on their end. Like he should have never, been repackaged the way he was on Raw. So that's a given. Like I'm glad to see him back, under the helm of Triple H and him getting that direction. I mean, the only few that are left are like the question marks are like Gargano, obviously. We didn't talk about this last week, but there was I'm not sure if it was a rumor, but I think Triple H, not Triple H, Shawn Michaels mentioned that right when he heard Triple H was the creative now for WWE, he reached out to Gargano, but they didn't say anything else, like whatever happened to that. So that's another one. And then Bray Wyatt, that's another big question mark that people are, wondering if he's going to return now that he might have a little bit more creative freedom. And you got to think he came up under Triple H with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
So
I think we're gonna see a big return to Clash of the Castle. I think that's where we're kind of waiting on.
Yeah, and the other thing too you got to think of is Brock Lesnar's gone, so that salary cap opened up a little bit more, so they can now hire more.
Yeah, probably about $10 million. talk about budget cuts, pal.
You got to think if they're paying like these people like like $500,000 a year or $1 million a year, that's $10 million you could play with of salary cap. You can sign back.
I think a minimum, like your minimum, if you're on the roster, I think the minimum you make is $250,000 a year.
Yeah, so like look at all that opened up with Brock Lesnar gone. Now you can bring everyone back. Like, hey, the floodgates are open. Sign this person. Sign him. Sign everybody.
Yeah,
Get them all back.
Scoop them up.
Definitely like to see Tegan Knox back. Hopefully she makes a return.
Yeah. I want to see. They're doing a great job with the women's division, building that. And of course the tag division. Is there somebody, and maybe we can kind of talk about it here in the next round, but is there somebody, we'll say that's not under contract for the sake of our next segment, that you would like to see back, besides the names we named, obviously Gargano and Wild? Is there like a name, like a dark horse?
Probably Kushida.
Yeah.
He
might be. He's not under an Impact deal.
Is he? Oh yeah, that's right. He's under Impact. That's right.
Yeah.
I think he did go to Impact. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Dude, bring back the major players. Bring back Cardona and freaking.
There you go.
I mean, Brian Myers is kind of under contract with Impact. Right?
I want to say his contract is coming up, and
bring
from
Cardona back, dude.
My understanding,
the
word is he's trying to. He's trying to go be a free agent, Brian Myers. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to be a free agent, kind of similar to, or just like how Matt is. He works his Impact dates, but he's able to work at the GCWs, NWAs, and things like that.
Dude, I would love
I think it would be great. I don't know if, personally, I don't know if Myers would be up to it, because it kind of sounds like he's happy where he's at.
Yeah.
Cardona, there's been talk about it.
I think he would
kind of flirting with it. Yeah,
I think he would. If I had to pick out of those two, dude, imagine a heel Cardona, like the person he's doing now, like in GCW,
right?
Like in the WWE.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome, dude. He'd be like
him and Cody matches. That'd be great.
That'd be so sick. Because obviously they know each other, they're friends,
right.
shit like that. And that's another question mark. I'm not sure if I brought this up last week, or I was gonna say it for this week. Cody Rhodes. Where does his what happens with his booking? Is his booking the same when he returns? Is he
that's something I wanted to think about, because he had that relationship with Vince.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be
is it written in stone already? Is that contract already written out where, hey, I get a main event at WrestleMania and I win, and then after that you can do whatever. I'll go back to Stardust and no.
Yeah,
you gotta think Triple H made those deals too. He's the EVP, and so like he actually has him, Stephanie, Vince McMahon, Nick Khan. They all have to sign that paperwork that Cody Rhodes signed. So, yeah, I don't want to think about him. I'm thinking about him coming back at the Rumble, winning the Rumble, and heading to Mania. That's my plan for Cody anyway. Hopefully that's Triple H's plan for Cody.
He's gonna he's probably got he's probably got Double or Nothing, his Double or Nothing 2019 entrance on loop in his office.
Oh no.
It's just festering.
I enjoy destroying lives.
Come on,
Yeah.
Triple H. Don't follow in your father-in-law's footsteps. Let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Give Cody a chance.
Yeah, like I said, not like groundbreaking news that hit Rose back, but of course it's
good. It's
interesting.
good that they're back. I mean, it's good that
Yeah.
they're jobs again, and they get a second chance.
Yeah, and it also allows us to play that awesome "Welcome Back."
Yeah, it does.
Welcome back.
To the big show.
Going back to the big show. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Anyways, we'll let's do a little lightning act.
Lightning round.
All right. So lightning round. Let me get the old clock pulled up here. Oops, wrong one. I'm trying to get used to this thing here. All right, here we go. Just real quick, we'll do 30 seconds. I'll let you start. We'll talk. So, Fightful, of course, dropped some news that a certain AEW superstar supposedly backdoor channeling trying to get back in with the WWE. So, A, speculate who it could possibly be, and B, give me real quick some your thoughts on it. Is it are they playing with fire? So your time begins now.
I want to say Keith Lee was probably the one that got contacted by the WWE to come back or see where his head's at. Another one that kind of got repackaged in WWE, and they didn't like his shirtless gimmick that he had. Not the best in shape guy, but I don't hate it. Yeah, I think it was Keith Lee. I think he's the one that got contacted.
All right. Yeah, that's a name I definitely didn't hear. I'm gonna be kind of gonna take the easy road on this one because he apparently liked a tweet or something, but Andrade. I mean, I think he's definitely up there. He's not been booked well at all in AEW. And of course, his wife is still with WWE. So I think that's who I would go with. So
yeah, it kind of makes sense too because, like you said, his wife's there. I think Ric Flair has a better, like a working relationship now with the WWE as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're not doing anything with Andrade right now. I say bring him back. Bring back Zelina as his manager, and just take over again. Put him in the mid card. Work his way up to the main event. He could definitely be a main event, like heel. I think.
Right.
If they have, like I said, if they have Zelina at his side, cutting his promos for him and stuff like that, I think he could definitely do some work. Or put him in at the IC division, dude. Imagine him and Gunther. Oh my god,
would be awesome.
Because I'm assuming Gunther's gonna have that title forever. I don't think anyone's beating him at all, personally, unless they have a Drew Mac drop down to the IC division or someone his size.
Oof,
but
I don't know about that. It looks like Drew Mac is there there to stay. So
the other person I was thinking of was Adam Cole.
Man, talk about somebody not being booked right.
Another one. And they're all injured too, right? So they're not even in that trio thing. Right?
That's weird. That's a whole big mess right now because they did the heel turn and then I think Kyle O'Reilly's injured or something.
Still injured, yeah. So
it's a mess over there. I don't know what's happening.
So what happens when you book for the internet?
Yeah, exactly. Marco, did you? Goddamn, Bill. Did you watch NXT Heatwave?
Yes, I didn't get to see the main event. It was the main event was just starting.
Well, I'll let you do
damn it.
this.
Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and busters.
Good old NXT hate wave.
Um,
Old ECW pay-per-view. The first time we've seen old.
Yeah,
besides
right.
One Night Stand.
That's right.
But Heat Wave was a staple in the old ECW days. I kind of read some. I'm not a NXT watcher, as everybody knows, but maybe hit us with some highlights. What happened?
Let's see. Mandy Rose retained her the NXT Women's Championship. I'm assuming Braun Breaker did without even watching it.
I did see that. I did see Braun did return. So
what do you call it's gone from the NXT? Why can't I think of his name right now? It's escaping me. I can't think of his name. Trying to look it up. Santos Escobar.
Oh yeah.
He lost to Tony D'Angelo. So the stipulation was, if he won, he would be freed from Tony D'Angelo's family. And if he lost, he would have to leave NXT. And he lost. So I'm assuming he's going to the Raw SmackDown.
I'm going back to the big show.
Who else? Carmella Hayes retained as well against Giovanni Vinci. That match was actually really good.
That's a former Fabian Eichner, is that right?
Fabian, yes.
Yeah, he used to be Fabian.
Yep. Which he's unrecognizable. If you like see him now, it's so weird. Like he looks the same, but he doesn't look the same. It's the strangest thing ever. Other than that, who else? Something else happened. Diamond Mine kind of imploded.
Oh yeah. I read about that.
And the team from NXT UK. Why don't I forget their name?
Gamus or
Gallus.
Gallus.
Yes, they came and pretty much destroyed Diamond Mine. And they're pretty much going to run amok in NXT 2.0.
Run amok
until they get their NXT UK Tag Championships back. But I am liking. I am liking the NXT UK invasion angle that they're doing. It's been happening a lot. Like like NXT UK talent will pop in to NXT 2.0 and kind of like set fires and then leave. Essentially, I like that. So it gives them more TV time. And if you ever watch NXT UK, it's probably the best wrestling show out there right now. Like next to AEW, if you're in AEW and you like to watch, just wrestling matches, definitely NXT UK is where you want to be. But other than that, that's an NXT hate wave review. Hopefully they bring back November to Dismember. That'd be pretty cool. Or was it December to Dismember?
December, yeah. What was the other one? Guilty as Charged.
Yeah, Guilty as Charged.
Guilty as Charged.
Guilty as Charged.
Guilty. Oh, boy. And then you die. Oh, man. So, yeah. I mean, it seems like, NXT's been getting a little bit better.
Yeah, Sean HBK's been doing work over there. So apparently that was another thing. He said when that whole thing happened, when Triple H left and they rebranded everything, he said Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon had little to no input on what was happening. And everything that happened in NXT 2.0, you can pretty much blame him in the beginning.
All right. Hey, what's the whole adage? Like what they say, like those who can't do teach or whatever. And obviously, Sean can do. So that means he can't teach.
No, he can't teach. No, he said everything you see in the beginning, you can blame him because he was pretty much. Man. I mean, he still is. He's pretty much running NXT by himself. Right now. So I mean he's growing into it. He's getting a lot better. And, it's a lot more character driven.
I need someone to step up.
HBK did do that. He stepped up big time.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, it seems like it's potentially getting better here. Yeah, let's see what happened inside the square circle.
Who won the week?
Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and talk about this. No, let's actually say that. Let's say that for towards the end. Let's go to the main event of Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
We had Theory versus Dolph. Kind of the start of their feud. Of course, during this time leading up to SummerSlam, we saw Dolph continually trying to distract Theory ringside. I knew where that was really going. I left Dolph to go on to different matches and whatnot. And then we saw a little brouhaha backstage. But it was actually really cool the way they did that because they allowed them to cut the commercial by them rolling over accidentally hitting the cameraman. So I like the way they did that. And they did a few little things like that. It was really interesting. I added to like oh my god, hurry, get back, let's get back to the commercial break, So the main event, undoubtedly I feel like there's some subtle changes with Theory. Maybe it didn't feel like he was quite as goofy to me. It's just a little bit more serious. I don't know.
Going A-Town down.
It wasn't anything like that. So, what was your thoughts on that match?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think actually, if he's going to be one of the kind of top heels there, he definitely has to not be goofy. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, he needs to be more intense. And like I said, I always get that with him, a young Randy Orton vibe from him. I think he as he gets as he grows and gets better. I think he has that potential to be that type of slow, methodical type of wrestler in ring, especially with his promos. I think shying him away from that goofy stuff, I think slowly but surely will definitely help him out. But right now he's young. He has to kind of they need that if you want to say connection with the youth, essentially. He's doing the selfies, and I don't mind him being a killer in the ring, being absolutely serious. But then, in his promos being kind of, goofy. Seth Rollins does that perfectly. He's, that cackling and, but when it's time to, he's annoying and cackling and doing all this stuff. But when it's the bell rings, it's a whole different story. He's in there to kill somebody, essentially. So as long as they keep that with Theory, I think he'll be fine. I know we were kind of last week, thinking he was down the totem pole of pushes.
Oof. Well, looking good.
I think right now it proves different. He main evented Raw.
Yeah.
And I think he's back on. And he did have some personal thing that happened.
Okay.
That's what they said. Something happened with his family or something like that. That's why he took I think that last Monday night he wasn't on at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I think he's safe. He's gonna be one of those he's gonna be one of those final four in the Royal Rumble, I think.
Oh yeah.
Too as well. It's gonna be him.
He's gonna have
Cody,
a breakout.
Probably Seth Rollins and I don't know.
Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis. He'll creep from under the ring.
Yeah. In our little group chat, you pointed this out, and a lot of people, of course, on the internet pointed this out. During their little brouhaha, you see kind of the background a hand.
Yep. Cut off fingerless glove.
Fingerless gloves. And, I think it's spectral. Could have been one or two people, obviously. Could have been Bray. Could have been Dexter.
Yep.
Especially with everything going on. I kind of think it was Dexter, just because the way they kind of been playing his storyline of they've been putting stuff in the background and he's like a stalker and things like that. And obviously we'll get to he made an appearance. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He that was kind of an interesting little tidbit. I wouldn't have caught that if you would have brought it up. But what are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, even when you look at the glove too, it kind of a lot of people saying Bray because it kind of looked like his cutoff glove with like the red kind of like stitching on it as well. And the Dexter Lumis gloves, he wears they're just black fingerless gloves. But was he wearing those? Like, that's another thing. Did anyone catch when people talk about it? Did anyone catch his hands when they were like, when that happened later on in the night? So I don't know. I mean, obviously there's a lot of speculation on, where this is leading to. Like, obviously, people are leading it to a faction, but I don't want to see another, like, Judgment Day has that type of, like, gothic, like, faction, but I don't want to see another faction that's kind of like that. But even, even that, it could be, they could go like the Wyatt family route and just have, like, Bray Wyatt as the leader and, like kind of like the cult type of thing, like a new Wyatt family almost. But if they add a female, they'll definitely be copying Judgment Day. But I'll be interested to see, because he did kind of work with Alexa Bliss at first. I'd be kind of curious to see if they did go that route, who they would put in a stable with, Bray Wyatt, Dexter Lumis, what wrestler would be in that group that's there now.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Well, and another name that I didn't talk about that they could bring back, I don't know what her health status is Paige.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always been rumored to be the Sister Abigail.
That's right.
For one reason or for another, it didn't happen. I mean, I've always wanted that to happen, and I think you could still make sense in some degree. I think but I think it would be fun. So if they could find a way to do it, but.
That's all speculation, obviously. We don't know if Bray Wyatt's coming back or whatever.
Right, obviously, yeah.
That'd be awesome if he did, but we'll see.
Monday Night Raw was action-packed, so we're going to move on to another match here. Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens. Crazy good promo.
Yep, from both.
Yeah, we heard the banned word wrestlers. We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring.
We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring, so let's wrestle. I was like,
let's wrestle. Like, oh my god,
he's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
that was Vince McMahon watching.
Yeah. Oh my god. He's talking to himself. He's gotta puke.
Oh man.
Yeah, so the promo was really good. Drew McIntyre, he's definitely one of these guys that was suffering under the Vince McMahon era because he was just Robot 2.0. I'm a Scottish warrior. I'm here with my sword, Angela. I am going to cut your head off. It was just like boring. Now he's got a little bit more freedom on the mic. You can tell.
Yeah.
He's a lot more comfortable. I think his matches have been a lot better too.
Yep.
We saw him with the Sheamus match a couple weeks ago, and now this one was a barn burner. And of course, we know what KO could do on the mic.
Oh,
even dropped an Owen line. Enough is enough. It's time for a change. I wish you would have gone, I'm an anteater. Woo! But he didn't do that. What are some of your thoughts on this match?
Oh man, no, they right when he said, we're wrestlers in a wrestling ring, let's wrestle. I was like, oh boy, it was a bad, obviously a banger of a match. You have two probably the best two main eventers for the WWE. I mean, like I always say this, like Kevin Owens can only go up from where he is now. I mean, he main evented WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin, so that's enough, to show you he has enough star power. in that anyway. And then Drew McIntyre, like he just has that. He's like you said, he's great. He seems like he's way more loose on the mic now. Here's what I'm afraid of. We don't need a bunch of ass kickers. All right, we don't need a bunch of gimmicks where everyone's running around and they're an ass kick and kick everyone's ass. We don't need that. We still need, good guys, bad guys. We still need you. Like I'm fine with McIntyre going off on the mic and doing his thing, but at the same time, still carry the sword around. You still have a gimmick. So wear the kilt. Do it as your entrance. Obviously, don't cut the ropes and all that stuff, but still have that still work that gimmick more. We don't need everyone. We don't need everyone being the prize fighter. Like KO came out and said, I think it's time for the prize fighter to return. Cool. So he should be for Raw, he should be that go-to ass kicker guy. That's who Kevin Owens should be. We know Drew McIntyre can kick ass as well, but we don't need that to be his gimmick. And that's what I'm afraid of, that everyone's going to be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin type where they're anti-heroes and they can kick everyone's ass. And we still need that type of like I said, you still need a gimmick. You still need to,
What?
That's for me anyway. That's what I'm afraid of.
No, yeah. I get what you mean. I actually hit the wrong one at one hole to do Stone Cold. Obviously I love the promo. One thing I consider, I didn't even realize this. 5 years since KO has held a title.
I know.
Any kind of title.
The Universal Championship. I
guess the last time was the United States Championship. Was the last time he held a title.
Was when?
2017. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying 5 years he's held the main title. Which
it's been longer than that, really. He lost it in 2017.
Yeah, August 29th. 2016.
Monday
Night Raw. Only reason I remember it, my son was born on that same day.
Nice.
I was literally in the hospital watching. I was like, let me watch Raw, see what's happening.
Yeah.
And then it was that match. It was that what was it, a 4-way match?
Yeah. It was an elimination match. Big Cass, KO, Seth
Rollins, and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then the return of Triple H, where everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna side with Seth Rollins." And then nope, the pedigree, 1, 2, 3, he wins, and I was like, "Oh, see that kid? You were born on the same day as Kevin Owens winning the Universal Championship. You're a lucky boy." I was more excited for her, though.
Yeah, I was hoping to be the birth of your son. Anyways, it was pretty good.
Good match, man.
Good match. Good promo. I do like the way it ended. We talk about how there's too many disqualifications, but neither of these two guys could really lose this. Which a lot of times you do have that 50-50 booking, but it was good. It was good with what they had here.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is a 50-50 booking going to be around still? That's the other.
Right.
we can't predict matches off of that anymore.
Right.
It's going to be a lot harder now.
Very, very solid match. We got Cash of the Classic coming up in a couple weeks, and this. They're putting a lot of steam behind Drew right now, which is interesting.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah, yeah. But it's gonna be a good battle. Let's head over real quick to SmackDown, and we kind of had a contract signing for the SmackDown Women's title. Shayna Baszler ended up with her table. Ronda Rousey came back. A whole bunch of mess. I kind of blanked out, to be honest with you. So, kind of a quick tell everybody what happened.
Yeah, so Ronda Rousey came back during the signing. She had she dumped out a bag of money and basically said, "I got suspended for being up a referee and here's I'm just doubling the fine because it's going to happen again, essentially. But then, something weird, like it was kind of weird because like Shayna Baszler, obviously she has a title opportunity, and she's kind of like pleading with like both of them, like, well, kind of pleading with Ronda Rousey, like, hey, this is my moment type of deal, which it kind of made her almost like a baby face in a sense.
Yeah.
And that's where,
it's coming back to me now.
Where we end up with her through a table. Liv Morgan putting.
It's weird. I don't know how I like this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't make sense to me. Unless Triple H is just going by like one town's reaction to her. I mean, Liv was over like Rover pretty much, in the women's division, and one town decides to boo her, and so then we're gonna make a hill like.
But even that, if you watch SummerSlam again, it was kind of mixed too when she won, when she tapped out, and it was that was kind of like the beginning of it. So maybe just carried over because obviously it was in the same was it the same area that
it was no, I don't know where it was at. No, I don't think so.
But kind of like people were kind of turned off by that match. Maybe like the finish of that match. I shouldn't say her, but maybe the finish of the match kind of turned people off. And then you wait a week. It's that happened Saturday, Sunday, Monday Night Raw. That you have that whole week, for fans and stuff like that, so they kind of chatter about it or whatever. I mean, I could see people kind of booing her and saying
Fickle.
That's true. Daniel Bryan's right, or Bryan Danielson's right. Fans are definitely fickle, but I don't see her. Like her star power lasting too long anyway. For me personally, I mean, as far as like fan favoritism,
that's I think that's right.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I think
elaborate on that.
I think it was just like a who'd she win the title off of? It was Beck. Who she beat Ronda Rousey.
She beat Ronda, yeah.
Cashed in, right? I don't know I don't even know where like that where that started. Where like she was kind of like that. She was like that, like underdog. Where did that even like start? Like, was there a storyline where she was an underdog, or was it just?
Well, I mean, I think that's just kind of been her whole MO, since pretty much like last year. And Matt in the coolers, he's here. He mentions the subtle storytelling was surprisingly good here. Ronda telling Shayna used to be a killer after Shayna was telling Ronda to follow the rules. That's very, very, very true. Good stuff there, Matt. But I think the whole her whole MO was
the underdog.
That she's just always been the underdog, and maybe the story is now that I'm champion, like I'm better than everybody now.
Yeah, that's it seems like there was no story after her winning it. Like it was like let's get her to the dance, and then what's the storyline afterwards? Like how's everyone going to be? Now she has the title. The fans rejoice with her. They're happy for her to have it. Now what? That's what I think where they're at, sort of, essentially, because there was no like storytelling afterwards. It was like she had that weird finish with Ronda, and then people saying you tapped out. So it's like I'm not sure if that finish messed. I think the finish kind of messed everything up for them.
Yeah,
personally,
I am the game, JR.
And not everyone can be like a Bianca Belair, where actually people are really behind you, and they see like your talent, and they see how good you really are, and they want you to win, and they want you to still be the champion. And you don't have that. You have an antagonist in Ronda Rousey where people still like her. No one really hates her. I don't think people hate Ronda Rousey. Do they?
No. No, I think she is very hateable.
You think so?
Yes.
Like Logan Paul hateable, or just heel hate? Like
not that.
Not that hateable. Not that
real
life hateable.
Let's pump the brakes. Nobody can be mad at Logan Paul. Goddamn Paul. But
people were cheering her. They're like Ronda when she did that promo on SmackDown. When she dumped the money out and stuff, they're like Ronda. Ronda. It's like it's weird.
She's an anomaly, man. But it just seems like leading up to since her return, she just doesn't care, and it reads. I think it's kind of pushed people the wrong way with her.
Yeah.
And it's just like she's just out there, just like, nah. Here's my lines. I've graced you with my presence. That's what it feels like, So it's just like, who cares,
Yeah.
That's what I get from it. But actually,
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
That's Ronda. That's Ronda in the ring.
Yeah.
Good guy, bad guy, who gives a shit? I'm just gonna go
Babyface heel, who gives a shit?
That's legit her.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but I'm just not not too much a fan of what's going on over here with the SmackDown Women's
yeah, it's weird, man.
title. It's kind of whack.
They need Charlotte back. That's what they're missing.
Yeah.
They need the Queen needs to make a return and make things right again.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's head back to Raw real quick and talk about this match.
Oh, yeah.
This was loaded.
Another
Here.
banger of a match. First time ever. Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles in WWE. They didn't face each other in TNA or anything like that.
I don't know. Real
No,
quick, I want to get to Tyson's comment. Who'd have thought last surviving member of the Riot Squad would become champion? Of course, that
Exactly.
was.
And I have another
Morgan,
theory on that too as well. Why they gave her the title.
Well, let's hear it real quick. Is it potentially hot take worthy?
Not really. Just they did it. I mean, that's my own opinion. They probably did it despite Ruby.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Why wouldn't they do that last year though? I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on last year with the.
Well, she made her debut in AEW at All Out.
Yep, and then she went for a title match, didn't win it, and then where she been since then. So now WWE's like, you know what?
Pretend getting her hand crushed in a vehicle.
Yeah, well, let's give Liv the title just to shove it in her face, and she couldn't hack it over in AEW and win a title, but we have Liv Morgan over here flourishing. I mean,
I think they would have done it sooner.
Mind.
I think they would have done it sooner, but
true.
Interesting. So let's head back to our next match. We're going to talk about Bobby Lashley versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. We got 2 weeks in a row United States Championship match.
Yep.
I'm digging these secondary titles. And we'll talk about the other one here in a little bit. This and then the second week in a row, Bobby Lashley, I think, absolutely killed it. Like he has been on a fucking roll.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's been doing. This might be a little bit hot take. I'm not gonna throw it up yet because I do have a hot take coming up. But I think he's been doing a better job with this than he was as WWE champion.
Yeah, you're right.
So we see the reappearance of Dexter Lumis in this. Yeah. I love the way they did this because it made it. They basically did it like in a Vince way, in that they didn't acknowledge it. Like, oh, let's not acknowledge it because that's what would happen during the Vince era, right? Like, and even I think Jimmy Smith said something like, "Oh, we saw Dexter Lumis come in there," and he's like, Corey's like, "Look, let's not talk about him,"
Yeah.
They immediately like cut to commercial, like it was like a real attack, going on, But the way he came in, so what we saw him last week, where it looked like he was stalking AJ Styles, whereas this week it looked like he was coming to his aid almost. Do you agree with that?
Which is kind of that was good. Yeah, it was kind of like you said, the way they shot it, you really couldn't tell either. Like you just kind of heard like a you see Miz standing there like, well, it was the way they, like you said, the way they shot it was like perfect. Like it looked like none of them knew it was going to happen, which they probably didn't because that's something that Vince McMahon used to do. Like they used to, a few people would know some things, and then they would just do something and get like a real reaction. That might have been legit legit reaction from the Miz, because he looked like he's like, what the fuck is going on? You see like just like a scuffle over next to you see the announcer standing up, and you see them you hear them kind of like murmuring about something, and then you see Miz standing there like just staring like what the fuck is going on? If it was at work, he would have ran over there and like try to like beat up the guy or whatever, but he was just more like in shock. For me, the match was great. Too much shenanigans. I'm not sure if you liked it. I didn't like the Ciampa.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It has to continue the storyline, and
right.
But I was expecting to see Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles 1-on-1.
Well, I think we pretty much got that. Yeah. And as far as with the whole Miz situation, that's what we call working the boys.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were doing that really, but I can't really see this day and age WWE doing that.
Yeah.
There's too many people's feelings get hurt too much.
True.
So
I mean, Miz is a good actor. He wasn't all the Marines,
yes.
So.
He was on several Marines. That's true. Those are movie quality. I mean, yes. Oscar performances by the Miz, by Michael Mizanin. So here's my hot take, and we're about to get to this match.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Out of the 2 mid-card title matches we saw this week, this was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll talk more about it when we talk about it in a little bit. But
all right.
I like the storytelling in this, and then I like that they are continuing to elevate Bobby Lashley, and he doesn't need to be the WWE champion. Admittedly, I'm not a huge Bobby Lashley fan. I was back in the day when he was the rookie and ECW champion. I loved me some Bobby Lashley back then.
Yep.
And just whenever since he came back, I'm just like, meh. And obviously with the Hurt Business was really good. But this version, something about this version of Bobby Lashley, he doesn't feel like he's pandering to the crowd, so much, He just feels like a badass in the ring right now.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
And so I'm just really digging this. I mean, even his matches with Theory, I mean, ultimately what it is, he's selling at the right times. Yeah. And that's key. That's very much key.
Yeah.
But just no pun intended, a phenomenal match. Any final words on this?
No, I agree. The thing is with the mid card titles, being pushed as like the main titles, which they technically are for those shows. Like I see the Intercontinental title as the main title for SmackDown, and I see the United States Championship as the main title for Raw. Obviously, you don't have Roman Reigns; he's the main champion. But I see these 2 champions as the main titles for the respective brands. And the thing is, the thing about it too is they look like champions. Like it's not just some dude carrying a belt around saying he's champion. Like they look like when Bobby Lashley stands on that podium and he does his entrance and he has the belt around his waist. He's standing there and he's doing like his whole thing with the fight. Like he obviously he's like built like a fucking crazy man. Like his physique, his presentation, like you said, he's not pandering, but he's he's the baby face, and he's the good guy just by the way he looks and just by his body movements. You don't have to say, for the best people don't have to say anything, and they can show you who they are. They don't have to jump on a mic and tell people how great they are. Like,
shucky ducky quack quack.
Oh my god. The same thing with Gunther. As if Bobby Lashley is that main babyface champion, Gunther is that main heel champion for me, and his presentation's the same way. He comes out, belt around his waist, arms behind his back, like you know he's all right. That's the champion, right? That's the guy. That's the guy I need to be looking out for.
He's about to fuck somebody up.
Yeah, he doesn't have to come down and cut a promo. You know, when they're standing at the end of that ramp and they get ready to walk down that ring, you know that they're the champions of the respective brands, and they're there to do what champions do, is basically to kick ass. And do you know if they continue the Survivor Series, brand versus brand thing, we're gonna get Bobby Lashley versus Gunther, and that's gonna be fucking amazing. That's gonna be. I'm hoping it happens. I'm hoping. That's in Boston. Survivor Series is in Boston, so I'll go to. I'll be like, oh man, dude, you'll see me jump the guardrail and freaking.
I think they will probably do that, but I think we'll see War Games for Survivor Series this year.
Yeah, or traditional Survivor Series matches. No,
I'm over that.
War Games.
War Games.
Just bring Regal back just for that, just so we can say War Games.
War Games.
That'd be sick if they do that. I could see that happening.
We need a War Games drop here, but we don't have that. Like I said, I like this match. Let's head over to the one in SmackDown. Main event of SmackDown this week: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Gunther. Not gonna lie, I think because they dragged this out so long, I was meh on it.
I can see that.
I'm just like, let's like, we're done here. We're good. All right, cool. I mean, it was a good match, but it just didn't grab me like the other match did.
Yeah,
I know you love this match, so I'll let you talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love this match. I love both. I love Gunther or Walter when he was in NXT, or NXT UK champion, the longest reigning NXT UK champion. Definitely, anyone, if you're watching this, definitely go on Peacock, NXT UK, watch, go to the pay-per-views, watch the pay-per-view matches. Him and Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
When he first, oh my God, brutal.
Ilyana
Dragunov. Tyler Bate. That was like, I think on the Chick-fil-A show, we talked about that match, like that whole year. That was like match of the year for us.
Yeah.
Tyler Bate and Gunther. That was like freaking amazing. But yeah, I'm a big Shinsuke Nakamura fan too as well. I'm just glad he's back in a main event like scene, and he's being taken seriously again. I'm the most happy for that. Because he's as good, if not better, than most people on that roster. He just hasn't gotten the, obviously they stuck with Rick Boogs, and he had the King Nakamura gimmick for a little bit and all that stuff. But Shinsuke Nakamura and NXT, that's how we're seeing both of these guys how they were in NXT when Triple H was at the helm, when he was running things, and he just let them do what they do, and you got to see like the best of British strong style, if you want to call it, against Japan strong style. And it was that's why it would have been a little bit boring if you're not into the strong style type of wrestling matches. More of the hard hitting, slow, methodical, like, big impact moves, big slaps. Did you see Shinsuke Nakamura's chest at the end of that match? It was awful. It was brutal.
You're bleeding.
That's you're bleeding. Exactly. That's what his chest is awful. But yeah, no, I love those types of matches where they're just literally beating the shit out of each other, and you can see the war wounds to prove it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, two great matches though. Two great mid card title matches. I mean, it's gonna be hard for it'd be hard for like Roman Reigns to like put on a match like that caliber of a match on a SmackDown, because they're gonna give him 10 minutes to do a match, and it's gonna be spear, Superman punch, see you later. You're not gonna get anything like this with the Universal title unless it's a pay-per-view or a main match.
Well, it's tough to do because you're on network TV, and you're at 2 hours, not 2 hours and 1 second. You're at 2 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. True. You got to hit your mark. So it's tough to cram in. Roman Reigns matches, they need to breathe. It's like you pop open that old bottle of wine. You
let it
aerate. Let the Terrans release the Terran. Let the Terrans be released.
Yeah, he's a story. Yeah, he's definitely a storyteller. Same thing with Randy Orton. He's the same way. Like he likes to, take. I know people say Randy Orton's boring and his matches are slow, but there's a reason behind it. It's telling a story.
Hawk should be watching this. We're talking about wine, Although we're not talking about. We're talking about good wine, not box wine. So,
Wild Irish Rose.
Oh man. Yeah, like I said, I'm being critical, very critical, because this was a great match compared to, especially if you look back, 3 months ago, if this match was on SmackDown, I've been like, holy shit, compared to everything else that's been going on.
Yeah,
it's just like for me, it slightly fell under the radar. I'm being critical, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you,
but look at the main event scene. Like I said, look at the main events that we've seen these past couple of shows. Mm-hmm. We've seen Theory and Ziggler in a main event, and then Shinsuke and Gunther in a main event. Like, would you have seen these main events with Vince McMahon running creative?
No. Right now, the report was that they were supposedly kind of sour on Gunther, and he was about to get buried. That was the reports. I don't know.
What would they be? What was it for? Did they say why?
Who knows? Look at all the talent they released. There's no reason for that. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah.
Don't get rid of it. That would have been a huge mistake if they did that. Come on.
I think just Vince, just for about for those few weeks, he was more worried about himself and forgot to take his Geritol or something. I don't know.
Probably, but he didn't want Theory being in the shadows of anyone else, probably, or anyone taking liberties on. Was he on a Raw or something like that before? Gunther, did he show up on Raw? Or something?
I don't think so.
A while back, or
maybe for a brief second, maybe, but I think it was a while back.
I'm glad Triple H took over, because if they ever buried Gunther, I would have been.
Oh, something else we forgot to mention too, outside of Wrestle too. What we could talk about in the coming weeks, but apparently the draft is coming back as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Guess what? Belts are splitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they're going to continue on with the brand split, and then they're going to do this draft, like I said, we'll talk about it probably in the coming months. I don't think it's been officially announced, but that's the word on the street.
Makes sense. We talked about this before. Networks aren't happy if they don't have. Makes sense to me. I know they have Bobby Lashley as the United States champion on USA. Makes sense. USA United States champion kind of falls in their line, but they want the likes of a Roman Reigns or a.
I want them to keep the WWE championship lineage up. Personally, I would hate for them to for the Universal Championship lineage to be the new lineage. I would hate that.
No,
because then you're losing so much history there. You're losing Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Yeah, I said Shawn Michaels first.
The Undertaker,
Hulk Hogan, Macho
Andre
Man,
the Giant.
Macho so Man, many people.
Who's held the Universal title? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens,
Goldberg,
Finn Balor, Goldberg. The Fiend. Not for nothing. The lineage.
Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit?
Red belt, blue belt.
I want to see if they're not gonna continue on with the lineage. I'd like to see the belt split up, and I want the Universal title to go away. That's what I want.
I've always wanted that to happen.
That's what I really want. I want the Universal title to go away. That's ultimately what I want.
Triple H held that title. He held the WWE Championship. Come on, man. too many names to even. You can go on and on. Chris Jericho, freaking like
Jinder Mahal. I mean,
Jinder
golly.
Mahal, Kofi, Brock.
Don't
Lesnar,
hinder the gender.
John
Triple H.
Cena. Like there's so many Mick Foley. Like there's so many names attached to that. No, you can't. I love Roman Reigns. I love what he's doing with the Universal title, but stop trying to make it happen. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
It needs another 40 years to be legit. And I don't even think it's gonna last that long.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. But at least we still got the IC title and the US title. And
yes,
they're starting to regain their prominence.
We'll also have respective lineages as well,
right,
for those titles.
So, real quick, off the top of your head, well, I guess we're kind of heading to our 4-way for the US title, more than likely, or something along those lines. Who would you like to see be the next contender for the IC title?
Maybe Madcap.
Ah.
But he's kind of been not put in the main event scene because he teamed up with Drew McIntyre on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Kind of like, But, I mean, I'd like to see Madcap get a title shot. I mean, they got to push that dude anyway. I mean, you clearly see. They put him in a match with the Usos.
I think they need to repackage him. I mean, I know they technically did, but all they did was put him in black bikers.
Yeah,
I hate
black speedos.
What's a madcap? Like I still never like.
And just call him Moss or something like that, or just drop the madcap.
Just call him Rick Moss. Let him have 2 names.
True, they could do that as well.
Rick Moss is a badass name,
True. I'm trying to think of anyone else. I mean, Ricochet has plenty of chances for the IC title.
Get rid of that dude.
Definitely love to see Rick Boogs when he comes back. Get an IC title shot.
When I think of Ricochet, I think of that TLC song. Scrubs is a guy who thinks he's fine, is also known as a buster.
He's
always getting to his chances at the IC title. But he falls on his big ass. Anyways, but I'm over Ricochet. Get him out of here. Let's head over to our match of the week. Match of the week. Marco, start us off. What's your match of the week?
Man, it's a toss. So we just had this conversation too. I'm gonna go with Gunther and Shinsuke for my match. For my match of the week, anyway.
Right.
I don't think you go wrong either.
No.
Because could easily win KO and McIntyre.
Match
of the week.
Man, this is tough. This is probably the toughest I've ever had to, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
it's not a bad problem to have.
Great thing.
This is what we wanted,
Yeah, just every other week. Just think we were always like SmackDown, Raw, Raw.
Right, yeah. I've been thinking about this all day, honestly. I'm gonna go Drew and KO.
Okay.
I think man, although the finish was fine for what it was, but man, I don't know. The Drew KO and Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, they're really neck and neck. I mean, you can either put both of those in there. If I gun to my head, pick one, I'm just gonna go Drew KO. Because they didn't have a story to go into it, and now you have a story. Whenever they bring it back, when they circle back to it, So, and then especially with Drew with this title reign or maybe potential title reign coming up.
Yeah.
Whatever's about to happen. This will be interesting to see what they do with them. And, you got KO. You can circle back to him. Number of challengers
Yep.
along the way. Theory, Ziggler, and that's another thing. We didn't really talk about. That the theory is he's elevating Ziggler back up to that status like he once was. So
Yep.
I enjoy Ziggler. He's good as a heel, but I think he's been a heel for far too long. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's something I didn't bring up. But I think he's kind of back in the thick of things. So that'll get Drew back in there. And they have history too. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Drew and KO just for what it could be for the future.
Yeah.
I just I think it's good shit, pal. I mean, what a couple weeks it's been. Let's see who won the week.
Who won the week?
Blue pill, red pill. Who won?
Go red pill.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah. Even though SmackDown
was great too.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was. I think Raw pulled out a little bit further than the week previously.
Yeah.
I think they, they just had a lot more better matches, better story they were just telling, and they didn't rely on who's coming back.
Yeah.
I know Tom had texted, he goes, "Was Raw worth watching?" This week, and I was like, "Absolutely,
yeah,
100%." So
awesome matches, awesome promos.
Yeah. So somebody's asking here, hey, is WWE Test still alive or not? Sorry, pal.
What's funny, I was watching SummerSlam 98, was it?
Oh, okay.
Test versus Shane for the...
That was 99.
99. Test versus Shane, custody of Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Match.
Or 2000. I think it was 2000.
Was it 2000?
99 or 2000. No, it might have been 99. 99, yeah.
It was whatever one... what was the one Stone Cold and The Undertaker faced? That was 99, right?
Yeah. No, that was 98. That was 98. Stone Cold and Undertaker was 98. I don't remember Shane being on that card, though.
I thought it was Shane and Test Shane versus Test, and if Shane won, then Test couldn't date Stephanie or some shit like that.
I think that was 99.
Let me see.
Because I think in the one in 2000, that's the one with Shane. Shane falls off the scaffolding, and like 100 feet in the air into the thing. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, SummerSlam 99. Yeah, you're right.
Of course I'm right.
That's right.
Well, I think it's about that time.
I am the
Hey, yo.
Wrong drop. Marco, tell everybody what's going on in the world of Chick Foley.
Yeah, so obviously follow all the socials, Chick Foley on IG, Chick Foley Show on Twitter. You have the Pod Foundation as well. That's where you can find all the shows. You can find Extra Cooler Show, Coming Down the Aisle, Turnbuckle Tavern, Chick Foley Show, all the updates whenever the shows are dropped. You'll find all the updates there. And definitely, obviously, follow those respective accounts as well, because they're always posting some, funny stuff or update or newsworthy things. We have new show just dropped this past Saturday of open mic with me.
Good shit, pal.
Interviewed Chick Foley, aka Sheena Phelps. I really interviewed Sheena, and she spoke of the Chick Foley brand, where it started, where it's going, try to get into into the psyche of Sheena a little bit. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've been getting a good get some good reviews on it. A lot of people like the interview format. So this week, I believe I'm going to be interviewing Figure Kingdom.
Oh man!
So
Figure King is a man. He's
reached out to him. So I asked him, basically, say, hey, it's not obviously we're going to talk about fake photography and stuff, but much like the Sheena interview, I'm going to ask him how he started, what motivates him, all that type of stuff. So like I said, I'm trying to be like the trying to be like the Barbara Walters / Joe Rogan / Renee Paquette of the
Hey, if you become the Joe Rogan and you need a guy to be like the Jamie, like, hey, J-Bone, pull up that video of that squirrel eating a moose.
Wow. Yeah, this is really interesting. Yeah, this but yeah, so definitely look out for that. Yeah, I've been having a fun time doing it. Like I said, I like just talking to people, and a lot of the times it's going to be people I've never spoken to before. It's going to be the first time I ever with Figure Kingdom. Never spoke. I've chatted with them, like DM'd them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've never spoken a word with them, so that's going to be pretty cool. So hopefully get some more people down the line. I'm not sure if it's going to be a weekly show. It might just be every other week essentially, but we'll see what happens. But other than that, I believe the Pod Warriors will be dropping soon. I think a 2-hour episode. So get your popcorn ready. Get your schedules cleared because it's gonna be entertaining.
Awesome. That's great. That's I love long podcasts personally because when I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah.
I gotta drive like 50 minutes for work, so every day. So there and back, 50 minutes each way. So I'm like, dude, give me all the pod.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously Chick Foley Facebook group, chickfoleyshow.com. Join up. It's probably the greatest group ever. We spoke about it on the on my show about how we gave everyone props. How great everyone is, and
really is.
It's just an awesome group of people, and you can share whatever you want. You don't get criticized for things, and
right.
No one's gonna give you any crap if you do. We're just joking around with each other. It's
right.
Nothing too serious. And
we say that all the time, but it really
compared to other groups, we'll say
there's a lot of groups out there, and a lot of figure groups and. Of course, really even wrestling groups too.
Yeah,
they just cut people down. This is not like that, People will voice their opinion, but it's not in a derogatory or disrespectful way. It's super fun. I know. You got they do trivia. The Royal Rumble thing that they were doing for a while.
The Prediction League we got going.
Prediction League, yeah, we're in the playoffs, so.
Which I'm awful at.
Yeah, me too. Jeez, I don't either, but whatever. So coming down the aisle this week, of course, you can follow everything coming down the aisle at coming down the aisle pod.com. That's where all the social media, pro wrestling tee stores at. Help support it. The show. Also, I don't mention this a whole lot, but I do have a sponsor. SeatGeek.com. Make sure you use code down aisle to save $20 at that checkout. That's a beer on me. So, so check that out. But this week I've got I've never had a comedian on before. It's just started. We just got connected on IG.
Wow.
Kurt Ryan. He's been on Dan St. Germain's podcast before. We talk about that. We just kind of talk like the parallelism of comedy and wrestling, it's like how they, there's a lot of parallelism with that, and we watch probably one of the best WCW matches in my opinion, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc 1997. I'm surprised it never came up. I was like, when he mentioned it, I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely, we're doing.
Oh yeah, that's one of those matches where you always say if you ever met a non-wrestling fan and they're like show me a match that'll get me into wrestling. That's definitely one of the matches I'm going to pull up.
Yeah. In fact, actually, we'll talk about that too. That's kind of what got him into wrestling.
Is that Matt?
Yeah.
Like I said, if someone's like, yeah, I'm not really into it, but you're like, oh man, I got to show you this match. Let's watch this one. That and Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
Yeah. That's my favorite match.
Those two matches right there. If you're not hooked on wrestling after watching those two, I'm not sure what to show you.
Right. So we do. We watch that. I'll have a new list this weekend. Top 10 Kevin Nash matches.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's his birthday this month, so we'll celebrate some Kevin Nash. And then we got the new Gen Arena. Those are shipping. I'll probably do a Free the Fig. I'll probably do a multi series of that. I haven't really decided.
2 hour Free the Fig.
It's gonna be. I might have to break it up,
set it all up, and
yeah,
do that.
yeah. I'm gonna get them on my floor, just crisscross applesauce style. I'm gonna have to build my fig fed.
Nice.
Yeah, we got. So be on the lookout for that. We got that coming up, and of course, right here on the Turnbuckle Tavern. Well, next week, actually, next Tuesday, will be the debut episode of the Long Balls. That's me and Hawk. We'll do our fantasy preview. It'll be a little short little thing. You get to see probably like 30 minutes or something like that. We're going to record it this weekend. And the shows will be live. The first couple will be recorded live to tape. But the first after the week one, they will be live. We'll do them every Tuesday once the week winds up in the pro football. We'll probably have like a guest every week. No extra coolers hitting me up.
Nice.
Marco, if you want to come on to talk some football,
oh yeah,
you can definitely do that. Yeah. Talk about some fake sports, pal. So me and Hawk will each week we'll talk. What happened around the league. Give our kind of predictions of the week. Give her some betting tips.
Oh boy,
some fantasy tips. We're actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna put $50 in like a FanDuel or something, and we're gonna see how long our $50 lasts. If it lasts the whole season, we're just gonna make our bets, and we'll see how long it'll last, and just continue. We're not gonna take the money out. We'll just continue. If we end up making thousands of dollars, well, guess what? We're gonna do thousands of dollars of bets.
Oh my god, dude. Oh boy!
But we're only putting $50 in, so that's it. Because J-Bone's got a house to buy in a couple months, so I can't afford to put a whole lot of money down. So yeah, check the Long Balls out. Like I said, it'll be in next week at this time. And on a quick little programming note, I believe after I think it's gonna be August. Let's see. The season starts September 8th. So our last Tuesday night show here will be August 30th, and then we'll be moving to Thursday nights. Rawdown will be moving to Thursday nights starting September 8th, actually, which will be the first night of the NFL game. So I'll have to catch that. Just catch the highlights on that, pal. So just a quick, we'll remind people as we go. So just a quick little thing on that. All right, folks, it is that time. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you head over to our Pro Wrestling Tee store, prowrestlingtees.com/tavern, where you can get all fabulous shirts, as you can see here. And you get yourself an MVP Marco, Hollywood Tony, Young Anthony, Rawdown, Boney Shivani, BoneyCon. Of course, we also have a Teesprings as well, too, where you can get the Rawdown logo. I'm the Rawdown champion, or my favorite, Mr. Backlash himself, Randy Orton. I hear his voices in his hands. And get some stickers as well, too. And we got mugs as well, so check that out. Head over to theturnbuckletavern.com for all the various social media sites we have. We make sure you're following us on Apple. Make sure you provide that, do that, rate and subscribe. Let's hear you talk about the Rawdown. Rawdown is the number one spot in WWE, and WWE is right now probably the number one promotion in the world still, but it definitely is the number one promotion in the world. So let's hear those feedbacks. 5-star reviews only, please.
Yeah.
Head over to our Twitch. Of course, we got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You name it. Of course, Pro Wrestling Tees. Also, you can, if you want to voice your displeasure, you can call the tavern at 304-404-2004. Leave us a voicemail, and it'll be played on the flagship show. Of course, this week, pretty awesome stuff. The Two Bad Chads and the OG Fig Kid will be at Dynamite this week. So they'll have a live review of Dynamite. So you don't want to miss the flagship show, of course. So make sure you got all that. That's gonna be it for this week, folks. We sure do appreciate it for myself and the MVP Marco. It's been real. It's been fun. But it hasn't been real fun. No. Just like the good Lord said. He said, "Let's get on out of here. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you." Till next week, we'll be right back.